What does it actually mean to know something? It sounds like a simple question, right? But the answer, well, it's the difference between just remembering a fact for a little while and truly permanently understanding a concept. Let's dive into that. Oh, we've all been there. You spend hours, maybe even days, cramming for a big exam. You pass it, you feel great, and then a week later, poof, it's all gone. That super frustrating feeling where you ask yourself, did I ever even learn that? That's exactly what we're going to break down today. And this is the big idea that kind of flips everything we thought we knew about studying right on its head. It's a short sentence, sure, but it's huge because it challenges the exact methods most of us grew up with. So if learning isn't just memorizing, then what is it? To figure that out, we first have to tackle this really common misconception. Let's call it the memorization myth. The belief that if you can spit back some information, you've actually learned it. See, memorizing just gives you this fragile knowledge. Think about a physics formula, right? Memorizing is knowing F equals ma. It totally works for the test. But that knowledge just shatters the second the situation changes. Understanding, on the other hand, is totally different. It's knowing why force equals mass times acceleration. And when you know the why, you can build connections, and that creates a real, durable skill that actually sticks with you. So that's the big question, isn't it? How do we make that jump from fragile memorizing to real, durable understanding? Well, this is where we need to shift our whole perspective on what learning even is. Okay, so here's our new definition. Check out the keywords here: deep and lasting. This isn't about just holding on to some facts to get through an exam. No, this is about a permanent change in how you see things, how you interact with a topic. It's about building a comprehension that stays with you, for good. And you know what? It really is that simple. When you change your goal from just memorizing to truly understanding, remembering it all just happens. It's a natural side effect. All that time you spend studying becomes way more effective because you're actually building something that's meant to last. But I get it. Understanding can feel a little vague, a little abstract. How do you actually know when you've gotten there? Well, luckily, there are 3 really solid pillars you can use to test yourself. So what's the evidence? How can you prove, not to a teacher, but to yourself, that you've really, truly grasped something? Turns out there's a pretty clear 3-part answer. This right here is the 3-step test for true understanding. First up, can you explain it in your own words, maybe to a friend who has no idea what you're talking about? Second, can you use it in the way it's supposed to be used? And then, the final boss, the most important test, can you apply it to solve a brand new problem you've never seen before? If you can do all 3 of those, wow, you don't just remember it, you own it. And passing that 3-step test, that is the gold standard. That is what real, meaningful, and lasting learning actually looks like. It's the destination we should all be aiming for. So now that we've totally redefined our goal, the next question is obvious. What can help us get there? How do we actually put this whole philosophy into practice? Well, the cool thing is, this whole philosophy is being built into a whole new generation of tools. We're seeing platforms designed not for boring old repetition, but for helping you build that deep, connected understanding we've been talking about. And Learnify Portal is a perfect example of that. The whole point of these tools is to be a gateway to smart learning. The focus is completely on comprehension, not just repeating things over and over. It's all about helping you build knowledge smarter, not just study harder. So now, armed with this whole new framework, you're not just collecting facts anymore. You're building lasting knowledge. You're building real understanding. So the only question left is, what will you choose to truly understand next?